Hello folks, and welcome to part part 3 of the Batboat Mark 4 build. It was a bit of a mouthful to say that, tell you that. Anyway, we're here, and what have I done so far? Put the spotlights on, navigation lights. I don't know if I've already done that on part 2. Well, I'll put them on anyway, because I'm going to wire it up, not yet, but soon, when the weather improves, because look at it, everywhere looks miserable, damp, cold, freezing. I've even got a jumper on, look. I don't really wear coats, but a jumper's fine with me. Anyway, and because it's been raining, constantly raining all the time, it really gets on my nerves. The boat was getting soaked inside, which is fine because it's not in the water, and it's got a bilge pump in it anyway, just connected to the battery, it spits all the water out. Plus I've undone the bung at the back. But the problem I have is that if I leave it somewhere, I need it so it's going to be dry, and then because obviously the Batboat doesn't have a cover or a canopy on it normally, the one I don't really want one on it either when I'm driving it round, say. So the best of it is I've still got the windscreens to do, but for now, as you can see behind me, it looks a bit weird. It does look a bit weird, but instead of putting a tarpaulin cover over it, I've decided to make a cover. So even if I make it, the seagulls are everywhere, even if I make it radio control, it'll look a lot better with the cover over the top of it, so people don't get frightened saying there's a boat driving by itself. Which it probably will be driving by itself, but it might not be, I don't know, it's just an idea. But also it's a winner. Number one, it keeps the boat dry. Oh, look at my dirty hands, I've been working on it. Number one, it keeps the boat dry. Number two, it keeps the boat secure. And number three, if it does go radio control as well, it's not as scary, because people think there's someone in it when there isn't anyone in it. And number four, it doesn't look great with the cover, but I'm going to modify it, and I've only been working on it for a couple of hours, and I didn't want something really high. I didn't want something that looks like tarpaulin or anything else like that. So let's go and have a look at it. Like I said, it's only its boat cover, if you like, so it's not what it looks like normally. This is just its cover to protect it. It's like winter cover, like you'd get an old convertible, and like those MG midgets, which are quite fancy one of them, to be honest. You get like a hard cover, hard top cover, and that comes off. Well, that's basically the same as this, so it's just going to click on. I'm probably going to stick it on with magnets, maybe even Velcro, really, because to be honest with you, it's just a cover. I don't know yet, I'm just messing about with some ideas, playing about with them. But look at it, that's what it looks like. Hold on a minute, we'll spin the camera around and we'll have a proper look in a second. So there it is there. This is just a mock-up, so don't judge it yet, because I've skinned it to a, but I've got to obviously corner in those edges to make them a bit more stealthy. As you can see, look at that great big gaping hole. But now you can tell by the height, I didn't want it any higher because I wanted it look stealthy. This is what it's all about, the stealth aspect. Obviously I've got to trim it and all that. This is just its mock-up, so I'm just playing about with ideas for now. Do you know what I mean, folks? I'll probably underlap that where it's a bit messy there. I'll underlap that, and then it gives it more rigidity. And I've made it out of timber because I need it really light, because I've got to be able to lift it off. I don't want something that weighs about 3 tons. You know they're going to get that off. I was thinking at first of having a pop-up canopy. Wouldn't work. It would be too much of a faff for the same effect, almost. I mean, it'll probably look better like a fighter jet canopy, but then it'll sweat like there's no tomorrow. And if you're inside there trying to drive that, and plus with the canopy up, it'll look a bit weird, I think. So scrap that idea. Now I was looking at like an umbrella style type. That wouldn't really work. It'd look rubbish. It'd be too hard to manufacture. Really, well, it wouldn't, but it would just be awkward. It probably wouldn't last 5 minutes with it being material as well. This foam is hard wearing foam. This is really good stuff. This is pretty thick as well, so it's really does all right. Don't forget, I've still got to paint it yet when it's all done. The spotlight's a bit wonky because I've got to get right underneath there, and there's a bit of water in there. I'm going to show you in a sec. This is why I had to build this cover. So we're going to go around and look at the nose of it. I've got so much to do, like 1,000 more screws. As you can see, look, I've got to screw all this down, even more screws. I've gone through about 1,000 screws building this so far. 1,000 screws. Like I said, I wanted to make it the best Batboat I've ever made in my life. Look, see, I'm thinking of lifting that when I lift, because it's not attached. It's not attached, see? Lifting it up and then folding it over. But look inside there. Look at the water. That's what spurred me on. But everywhere's all cleared out now. And once it all dries, I'll have to mop that up, obviously, but I'll probably do that at some point. And see the water there. So this is why I needed to build this cover, this like rain protection cover thing, and that way it'll be a lot better. And then I've got all the electronics to fit and everything else, so I'm just, like I say, messing about with it all at the moment. So navigation lights, look at all these screws. There's literally 1,000. It doesn't look like there is there, but I've done screws from under them and more screws under that, screws here, screws there, screws everywhere. But look at it, this is how low it can. I mean, you could drive it like that, I reckon. Bit tight, you could get in there and drive it like that, but I want it to be open, in the open air, you know what I mean? So this is it from this side. So it does need to be a lot more stealthy. I'm going to round that bit off at the back, round those curves off, but it'll be going dark shortly, so I haven't got time. But I just wanted to get a rough idea, and drawing it on paper is fine, but trying to make it in reality is a bit different, I think. But plus I need it super light, one person could lift it, that's how light I needed it to be. So I think so far, and it doesn't look amazing, it doesn't look great looking, it looks a bit ugly, but I think it's, like I say, it's only its cover, so don't panic folks, it won't look like this when it's finished. This is just like its winter cover. I've said this about 1,000 times, but I wanted to make sure that you understand what it's all about, do you know what I mean? So folks, so that's the progress so far. It's looking alright really. I'll be glad when winter is gone altogether, spring would be here. I mean, look at the tree behind me, there's no leaves on it at all, it's freezing. But to be honest, I can sort of cope with the cold realistically, but it's not that though, it's just a wet, damp, that's what just drives me nuts. Plus I need it to be dry and warm, because then when it gets warmer I want to see how that reacts, that foam. I want to see how it settles down, so I need to get as much done as possible before spring and summer. Spring and summer, I can get out there then, we can take this bad boy, you know what I mean? Anyway, thanks very much for watching, don't forget to subscribe, stay tuned and all that, and then see you soon on part 4. We're getting to some good stuff when part 4 comes. So I'll finish this canopy off in the next few days, hopefully, fingers crossed if the weather's alright, and then get that done, this temporary cover thing, or whatever, winterized cover thing, whatever, get whatever you call it, get that done. And then when it starts warming up a little bit, or probably before then, hopefully I'll start work on the interior, because then it will all dry out proper then, and then I can get the flooring. Oh mate, you want to see the floor, get the electrics on, get the seats in and all that sort of stuff, and then when it gets warmer we'll faff around with the engine. Right then, I'll leave you to it. Thanks very much, take care of yourself, see you later.